Hello,
Hello.
hello. Thank you all for joining us. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, to whenever time you may be tapping into joining us. And I just want to thank you for being here. And we're going to jump right in by introducing ourselves. My name is Carli Gray, and me and my colleague Obrenka and I are here on behalf of AIDS United with Kamille Trice of Morgan State University. And I am a representative under the Melanated Movement Program, where we all work in effort to end the HIV/AIDS epidemic within the U.S. through policy, strategic grant making, and of course, uplifting the voices of people affected by and living with HIV. So, Melanated Movement, which we can all see in the background, and I hope that you all are returning visitors to all that we do with this program, really amplifies and celebrates the voices of Black and Brown women who are living with and affected by HIV. And it's our pleasure to continue doing the work to really lift those voices and provide a platform for women to tell their stories, for us to advocate and continue to network. And so I'm going to pass it along to my lovely ladies here who are joining me, and we'll go to Obrinka and then we'll go to Kamille.
Yes. Hey, y'all. Hey, Obrenka Clayborn, she, her pronouns. I am the program manager for the We Are United initiative. We're so glad to be able to sponsor this conversation. And this initiative was started through a generous support with the CDC and their partnering and communicating together program. And so we use that program to share their digital and in person materials through the Let's Stop HIV Together campaign. And through this partnership, we're able to support community members and partners with different in person and social media events to just share information that focuses on HIV treatment and prevention, as well as HIV stigma reduction. And then just making sure that people who can be impacted by HIV and also those who are living with HIV have the resources that they need to thrive. And so I'll pass it over to Kamille.
Yes, hi everyone. My name is Kamille Trice, and I'm a student at Morgan State University, majoring in psychology with a minor in chemistry. Last year, I had the wonderful opportunity to host the annual AIDS Lock-In at Morgan State University. This is an event we host every single year just to provide students with education and also provide testing.
Wonderful, wonderful. So let's jump right in and get down to it. Camille provided us with a little bit of background into AIDS lock-in, and so I'm hoping that you can tell us a little more about the history of AIDS lock-in at Morgan State University.
Yes, so AIDS Lock-In has been hosted for a couple years at Morgan State University. Every year, we try to have all the organizations participate and host tables and also have performances where they can educate the student body on essential topics, not just on AIDS. We also do women's health and men's health, just different topics that relate to sexual health or just problems within the Black community. So we'll have tables and they'll have poster boards and it'll be different themes. This year's theme was the game of life, but in previous years they had
Mm.
other themes. And then we have our performance section where all the organizations can come and perform dances dedicated to whatever topic that they choose. So we had some with women's health, we had some with like ovarian cysts, we had pregnancy. So it is a wide range of topics that we touch upon on AIDS Lock-In. And at the end, tables can win a first place prize and the on-stage performances win first place prizes, but also there's a lot of other things going on as well. We have different organizations coming in. Some organizations that we tend to have are Baltimore City Health Department, Baltimore County Health Department. This year we had Chase Brexton Health, we had NAMI Baltimore, we had AIDS United, and we also had a lot of testing options as well. So AIDS Lock-In is that opportunity for the student body to just get educated on these topics and also just have the opportunity to get tested, which is one of the most important things of this event, because a lot of times, people may not have the access to do so or may not go, but this is a
Yeah.
event where you can get it and it's accessible and easier. So
Yes, I can wholeheartedly agree with that total description. It was our second year being able to partner with MSU for um, partnership and sponsorship opportunities. And we're always so grateful to be able to interact in person with the students. And we had a table at the event hall, and I have to say, it was live in there. I don't even know it more to describe it. Like health advocacy had never looked so fun to me, and especially to see people at this age where it's like 18 to 21, 17 to 22. We know how ages line up, but just to see people at that age and at that time in life where you can really go into experiences where you're getting to know your body, getting to know your sexuality, getting to know how to take care of yourself post and after times when you're intimate and things like this. And so to have people open their minds and be ready to embrace ways to take care of their health and even help their friends possibly take care of their health by just moving the information through each other, even if someone didn't attend the event, was super cool. And we always look forward and will continue to look forward to working with MSU. So I will pass it to my colleague Obrenka. I think we're ready to hear some more cues. Yeah.
Absolutely. So you both have already talked about the powerful legacy that the AIDS lock-in has had at Morgan State, and so especially around women leading this event for like the past 3 years. So Kamille, how does it feel to kind of carry that torch as a young Black woman on a college campus doing this type of work, and how do you feel like your leadership has helped shape this event's evolution?
Yes. So having the opportunity to lead this event is definitely something that has changed my leadership skills and also has changed me because it has been such a great experience. With Morgan State University, we have so many female leaders around the campus. So it's kind of like, it's not unexpected. It just feels normal. And I love that about my HBCU, that it's normalized to have women in these large roles on campus. Cause just even though that role has always been women led by women, we also have our SGA presidents, our vice presidents that has also been with women. And we have all these women on campus creating organizations, leading organizations. It's very inspiring. And to be a part of that legacy, it's changed my life because I've had the opportunity to meet so many people and network and learn about myself and how I want to lead outside of Morgan State University, that it's something that is irreplaceable. And for any student that's listening out here that is planning to go to college, like, this is the experience that you come when you get to these schools. You get to really grow in the roles that you like seek and learn from. I would say with me and the AIDS lock-in and how my leadership may have changed it a little bit, I'm a very out the box thinker. And so that's the thing that I had to learn with leadership as well, is that you can always add your own unique twist to how you want to approach something that as traditional as the AIDS lock. And this is a long-standing legacy at Morgan State University. So I'm just adding to something that was already great before I even attended to it. And so in the previous years, I've seen the past beautiful women that hosted this event. I had guidance from them to see how I could make it my own, and they were very helpful. I want to give a shout out to Sharice, who was the AIDS lock-in chair 2 years ago. She helped me a lot with this, so I want to thank her so much for that. And I would say that something that I would have brought is definitely my out the box thinking. I wanted to try to do something a little different this year, and I think I definitely was able to put my unique vision on it. And I would say in doing so, just giving the students a lot more creative control on how they wanted to do their tables and their performances. So thank you.
Yeah, I can definitely say that the amount of work that it seems went into the event hall, of course, but the performance section, where me and my colleague Deontis Keys of the communications department at AIDS United were able to serve as talent show judges for that portion, which was super fun. I had never been a judge before. And it was so hard because I felt like I just kept giving everyone like 100 out of 100, which was not what you were supposed to do, clearly. But it felt so good. And like, yeah, there were so many skits, and like there's like voiceover audios, and there's costuming and routines. And I'm just like, wow, like, when's the last time you've seen people really invest like this, especially when you know the rigorous like tasks and things that come with being a college student in general, and the scheduling, the dedication it takes to keep showing up, especially when, you know, there's no one there to be on your back about getting up. And so that was really great to see. I will continue and ask you, how do you balance, being the face of the event, even though this is annual, but continuing to create change throughout the rest of the year? And, as people on campus know you as the AIDS lock-in lady. So how do you continue to create change when AIDS lock-in isn't happening?
So to continue to do this, continue to push health advocacy has been very important. We have so many different partnerships coming into Morgan State that want to work with us and want to pour into the students, that wants to educate the students. With my email, I get probably an email every other week with an organization like, hey, we want to come with Morgan. We have this opportunity. And so continuing to push those opportunities in the students' faces, continuing to show them the different things around the community that they can do to contribute has been very important to me. And also just trying to have focus on topics that are coming around on our campus, because there's a lot going on in the world, and students want to speak on these things. Students want to help. They want to get into the community and do things. And so that's my job, to ensure that they have access to these things.
Super cool.
I love that.
Yeah. Go ahead, Obrenka. Go ahead.
So being a part of like the AIDS lock-in, as you mentioned, and just kind of being like that leader on campus, what inspired you to be a part of the Student Government Association, or SGA, and how has that motivated your involvement on campus and just like more significant roles that you choose to be a part of?
Yes. So before I start this answer, I want to first shout out the Morgan State SGA page. I will say one thing, it's Morgan State SGA. You have to check it out. We always constantly have content pushing, constant events. I would say the one thing about my Morgan State experience is that the SGA presence has always been very heavy. It has always had amazing leaders that aren't just in SGA, but may have their own organizations, do so much stuff throughout the community, that when I would look at them in these spots, I'm like, I feel like I can do that one day. And I'm inspired by this. And I would like to do it. Even though I would say I was always kind of like a shy kid. I've never been in SGA prior to this. In high school, I never even imagined myself in SGA. But when I got to Morgan, I was like, this is the way to do the work. This is the way to make a difference on campus. I want to be a part of this. And then the AIDS lock-in specifically, because I am a psychology major, hoping to the career of public health. This is what I want to do with my life. So I got to start here. I'm at HBCU, and then continue. I can go out into the world and do the same things. And I think I answered that question. I think you had a second part. I want to make sure I answered the whole question.
Oh no, you answered that perfectly. And I love that. So growing up, I felt like I was like a shy kid. I wouldn't want to like talk in front of people. And then like the older I got and the more organizations I got into, it's like, no, you have to come out of your shell. And so like you get into Morgan State, and like that's your garden, and you've just been able to bloom. And so I really love hearing your inspiration of wanting to be a part of SGA. And I'll turn it back over to Carli.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as she said, Kamille, as soon as you said that, you feel like this is your job, and like hearing the way you talk about it, it's clear that like you're gonna be such a, now such a trailblazing individual in the field. And of course, we always need more people who look like us, who are passionate, and you can tell from the inside out that they care about the work and that it's not about, um, receiving rewards or receiving money or anything like that. It's just the pure, like, what is it called? Dedication and drive to be able to like keep going forward and working in public health. And so I I know that we talked about, the overall mission and vision of the AIDS lock-in to, reduce stigma, provide education and resources. But, something you highlighted earlier was that we also were able to see at the AIDS lock-in things around, pregnancy and reproductive health, around mental health, even about substance use and abuse. So I know that we often don't get to highlight that. And of course, there are so many intersections that it has with HIV and the HIV community. So I would love to hear you talk more about the things that you want to continue to see amplified at the AIDS lock-in, whether it is things that I just mentioned and leaning heavier into those things, or talking more about the intersectionality of them. So tell me more.
Yeah, so I definitely agree with you when you say like a lot of these things contribute to each other. And I think that's important to emphasize as well, especially when we're having a conversation about AIDS lock-in. I think sometimes when you just hear that, you don't understand that, or can kind of see that there's a lot of other things that go into that, like substance abuse, like reproductive health, like so many different things. And I think it's very important to continue to introduce a lot of those topics. Like I know this year we definitely pushed a lot more on women's health. We haven't done that last year. We just added that section. So that was really important because you don't understand how much women's health can go into that, or that being the center of a conversation. So having organizations have boards or entire performances dedicated to educating on women's health was definitely something I'd seen a little different, and was very, I got educated as well. There was a lot of things that I didn't know either. And so I learned something. And I think the more every year we need to add more things, every year we need to add those connections so people can see how this all starts. Because everything has a beginning. We only sometimes see that part, but we don't see the part of how it gets there. And I think that's important to show people.
Yes, yes.
No, yeah, absolutely. And I really love when you said that, like, this is the type of work that you want to, like, this is your life work. Like, this is something that you're interested in doing and you want to continue to see grow. And so, like, to the student that's just about to graduate high school, or to the freshman that just came on campus, it's like, okay, like, this is a lot. How can I be involved? Like, what advice would you give to someone who's wanting to be in these leadership roles?
The advice I would give, and I would tell this to every freshman, I would say when you come to your university with everyone you choose, if it's Morgan State, that's great. But if it's any other place, that's good as well. Write it down. Before you do anything, write it down. Write down what you want by the time you graduate off Morgan State, how you're going to get there. Because when you have it mapped out, then you get a good vision of what you want to do. Because sometimes this campus is a lot going on. We have over 100 organizations. It's very easy to get lost. It's very easy to kind of overspread yourself because you want to do so much. I would say that was my problem. But some people, it might be a little different. When I first got here, I was like, I want to do everything. Someone might come and be like, I don't know what to do. But write it down so you can figure it out. Because like mine's, I kind of found out through my time at Morgan State. I didn't start off knowing I wanted to do public health. I was a chemistry major at first, and I hated it. I did not like it. I didn't like it at all. But it took a lot of time to find out what I wanted to do, and that was the advice that I was given by my mentor, who told me write down 10 things that you like, and has nothing to do with school. Just write down things you like. And when I wrote that stuff down, I said, "Wow, I never realized how much public health has been in my life. How much I've kind of did it without even knowing that's what I wanted to do." And so just put it down and you will find your place once you know where you want to be at. Don't just come in here lost. Know what you want. And it might take some time to get there too. I'm not, you're going to stumble, maybe make some mistakes, but just keep writing it down. You'll get there eventually. So
Yes, I love
Yeah.
that. That's how I found public health. I was chemistry pre-med because I was like, I want to help people. So I want to be a doctor. And then I was introduced to the world of public health. And then you take a shy kid who now loves to talk to people. I'm like, oh, this is a great place to be. So I really, I relate to your journey. Absolutely. But writing it down and make it plain, that's great advice for not only college students, but just people in general. You put that vision on a piece of paper and you can put it to work.
That's how I'm feeling. I'm like, oh, let me pull out my little piece of paper after this and see if I'm missing anything in my life that I need to be striving towards. No, I love that, and I think it's a good way to create strategies for yourself, right? So we talked about, the different facets that we're creating those strategies at AIDS Lock-In, performances, event halls where people can like visually see things, touch things, grab stuff to take home. What do you feel have been some of the most effective strategies and able to reduce stigma and stuff through the AIDS Lock-In?
I think the table portion is definitely a big portion of the event. That's the time when you can really get up close and ask questions. And not only that, there's over 100 organizations at Morgan State University. So when these organizations are hosting these tables, you have students educating themselves on these topics and being able to put it in a way that another student will understand. And so I think there's a real good importance with that, because I think with public health, it's a lot of the time the message and the people that you are trying to reach out to. And it's really good because not only do we have a lot of different other organizations outside of campus coming, but we have actual student organizations teaching other students about topics and knowing how to like show them or make that message clear to them. I would say one example that really made me think about this is a student I knew. She texted me and she was saying, hey, we want to do like an insecure theme.
Ooh.
And they was like, is this appropriate? I guess it was named after an episode. I don't want to say the episode because it's a little bit inappropriate, but they wanted to name it after that episode. And I was like, well, I talked over with my advisor and I said, well, you guys are clear to do it. And I thought that was really cool. I said, because I know a lot of students watch Insecure. So to see a table based off of that and that comedy aspect, but also being educated, I think that's really important. So I think that's
Absolutely. I love to bring a comedic piece into any work that I'm doing. People who talk to me on a regular basis know I'm going to make a joke. You just got to slide it in there. You always need comedic relief. And I mean, we talk about beautiful Black queens. Shout out to Issa Rae. Because I mean, Insecure, I feel like it's my life. And so like how they used Insecure for an event, I'm basically using Insecure for my dissertation. So shout out to you. Shout out to you. But thinking of in the spirit of like collaboration. And so we've seen how Melanated Movement and this partnership that we've had with you all with AIDS Lock-In, how do you see other collaborators coming in, other partners coming in to help shape the future of health advocacy for young people, especially students at Morgan State?
Yes, I think other organizations coming in, and especially you guys coming in and supporting our annual AIDS Lock-In, it definitely helps the event because it gives students the opportunity to see people that look like them in spaces outside of campus. So even just you guys coming at the table representing for AIDS United, like that was really big because they got to not only see the people that are doing the work outside of campus, but you guys judged the performances. So that was like, you guys were a part of the entire, not even just on the back ends, but you guys were in the front of this event. So that was really I think if other organizations can come and do that and be so involved with it, it really makes a difference. It makes a huge difference.
Yes, oh my gosh. Well, that made me feel so special, I have to say. And like you even said earlier, like it was there were learning moments for myself as well, even though I am a person who, does the work every day and know the language and, who to tell. No, that's not right. This is actually how this happens. And like, no, untransmittable equals undetectable. Actually, it's the other way around. Undetectable equals untransmittable. So it's like, all the things. But then you go and you see how different people are learning from different perspectives, and you're just like, oh, OMG, like I need to put that in my pocket so I can relate to the next person, explain this experience a little better or explain this a little better. And so it's not just, us showing up and making sure that you all get the information that you need, but it helps us as well so that we're able to relate better to you all, relate better to all our constituents, because at the end of the day, we all have so many shared experiences that we just don't know are linked yet. So it's our pleasure. Long story short, it's our pleasure to be there and be as invested. I think that it's true when other organizations are able to tap in further, that they should be urged and moved to have the full experience, like we did, so that they're able to connect better with people and the folks that they serve. So I have a question. If you were to describe the AIDS lock-in in 3 words, what would it be?
Oh, wow. I would definitely say educational.
Okay.
Okay.
Engaging.
That's for sure.
And I'm kind of between exciting and entertaining.
Yeah.
Exciting. It's a lot going on with AIDS lock-in. It's a lot that day. It's a full day. It's a full day from about 4 to 12 a.m. You are learning.
Yes, I forgot that part, I was just so on the grind. I forgot that it was that long.
Right. Were you having fun?
So the entertainment helps. Yeah, the entertainment really helps. It's like I didn't know what the next thing was gonna be. I'm looking around, there's just so many people. And then of course you guys have like a school song and like school chant. Yeah, and everyone knows it. I was like, whoa, if I went here, did my college have a school song? And so everyone knows it. Everyone knows the line dances, and it was very entertaining, exciting, educational, thrilling, all the above.
And may I also add, we also have our own line dance that has been certified by Beyonce. She reposted it.
Yes. What? Okay, is that what y'all was doing? Because I thought this one.
To her song, Before I Let Go, to that song.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
We love Beyonce, so. Well, speaking, of celebrities, so we've already mentioned Issa Rae, and we've already mentioned Beyonce. So, I mean, if y'all got a line dance, this might be your answer to this question. But basically, if you could bring one celebrity or like notable figure to the AIDS lock-in, who would it be and why?
And that is my answer. And I'll tell you why. I think Beyonce, I think with a flyer with AIDS lock-in featuring Beyonce would have not even just people at Morgan State coming, it probably would have half of Baltimore coming. And so
yes,
such a huge stage. Like she can bring so many people. And I think definitely people like her who just have this presence, because she advocates for a lot of different things. So having her come and be a part of this event will push the reach out crazy. I couldn't even imagine how many people would be there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. To imagine, the reach for like the DMV or like even like super fans who might come from outside of the DMV as well. And like oh my gosh, it makes me kind of like all warm and tingly inside, because like imagine people were able to come to the AIDS lock-in, who students and non-students, and be able to access this information on a level that doesn't feel like it's a textbook or like we're preaching at them, but like they're following along in these performances, and then they get like a little droplet of information there and one there, and they leave and they might Google something, or they might just be having conversations with somebody and say, well, actually, I heard somewhere that this is how this actually works, and that just creates so many ripples in our community and like deconstructs so much misinformation out there that, yeah, that would really be great. I can't even. Beyonce, yes, I'm a Beyonce fan.
Listen, it has been Beyonce week over here. We trying to figure it out with
I tell you.
Yes, that would be amazing. Most definitely, just to have someone with so much reach, bringing so many people together with so many additional resources that people could reach out to. It would be amazing. It would truly put just that event, the AIDS lock-in, on the map, and truly help people. Because it's one thing, like you said, Carli, just to have an event where it's very, very textbook, and it's like, this is what this is, and this is why you're here. But being able to have an event that is empowering and educational and entertaining, but then also have a message with it, is truly like, this is why we get into the work that we do. Like, that's why I said, like, Issa Rae is like who I look to when I'm doing nonprofit work, because like that's literally what she was doing in the show, is having these amazing events with these amazing messages. And making sure that people are connected to the resources that they need. So absolutely, I love it.
Yes, you know what, Kamille, why don't you remind the people again where they can go see a recap of some of the activities we got up to at the AIDS Lock-In this past year, and also shout out to the winners of the performance in the past year. I want to say Black Men in Health, was it?
Black Men in Medicine.
Black Men in Medicine, yes. They went all out, props, scene changes, environment changes, all that stuff, and different scenarios. They did that. So shouts out to y'all.
Shout out. And also,
did I give you 100 on the grid? Maybe.
So definitely shout out to them, and definitely Black Women in Medicine as well. They both their organizations were also health ambassadors for this event as well. So they were walking around helping people, directed them to testing, assisting just with anything that needed to be dealt with during the actual AIDS lock-in. So shout out to them, because with the team, it gets better. It's much better with the team than just by yourself. So that was wonderful with their help.
Yes, I can agree. Shout out to AIDS United and my colleagues as well, because the team does matter. Thank you, Obrenka. Thank you to Deonta's Keys as well. And thank you, Kamille, for continuing to want to interact with us. I know that you've been interacting with us for several months now, and we are very thankful, and we're always happy to have you around. So thank you both, and thank you for providing such a lovely time on this live, and it's just a pleasure. So I want to give you guys an opportunity to say your thank yous, and then we can go ahead and open it up for some Q&A.
Absolutely. Thank you both for this time. I always of course, me and Carli work together, so we get to see each other all the time. But being able to have like a live conversation, especially with someone who is doing the most impactful work on college campuses, it's been great, Kamille. So I really enjoy being able to talk with you today, and also looking forward to see all the amazing things that you're going to do in the future. And like you said, it most definitely takes a team, and we all have to come together so we can stop HIV together. And so I'm so glad that I'm able to have this conversation with you today. And I'll pass it over to you.
Yes, thank you so much. I want to thank you guys again for inviting me. This was a wonderful opportunity. I'm happy that I got to just give a little bit more details about this experience. I hope a student listening to this may hear this and, try to come for the SGA and try next year, because it really is such a fulfilling experience. I want to thank the SGA, my vice president, my president, my advisors, because this is not a singular person. It's a whole lot of wheels turning, and there's a whole lot of people helping to make it happen. So thank you to them as well. I couldn't do it without them. So I appreciate that. And just thank you to Morgan State and the student body, because we had a great AIDS locking last year. So that was wonderful. And thank you.
Ditto. I second everyone. Please believe Kamille, because she is telling the truth flat out. Like, just amazing time. So please feel free to leave your comments, and so that we can interact with you there. And it has been another wonderful virtual event with Melanated Movement, and We Are United. And thank you again to Morgan State University. So we shall see y'all next time.
Bye.
Do you know your HIV status? When you do, you can take control of your sexual health. HIV self-tests give you the power to decide when and where to test. You just swab and stick it in the tube. Test in the privacy of your own space. You can set a timer, sit back, and wait. In as little as 20 minutes, you'll know your results. No matter your test results, you have a community waiting to support you.
I love being able to test where I want.
I love that it's confidential and quick.
You gotta love free.
It makes me feel empowered.
When I show myself love, I show my community love.
It's important to know my status.
It's important to know your status.
It's cool to know, you know?
If we all get tested, we can stop HIV together. Learn more about HIV testing, including free HIV self-tests, at cdc.gov/.